Okay, so tonight's team call is a little bit different. I'm not going through like a presentation and kind of stuff like that. I've been listening to a lot of Melanie Mitro, and I don't know if you guys listen to her, but she always has a way of like brutally, like, I don't want to say brutally honest, but that's kind of what she is. Like she is just really, I don't know. She just kind of hits you where you need to be hit and makes you think about what you're doing. And so that's where I'm kind of going with this. I was listening to her podcast, and then I listened to both of the national wake up calls from the past 2 weeks this weekend. And it just kind of really like got me thinking about things. And so it kind of just got me thinking about like a lot of times, right, we are the obstacles standing in our way, or like you are the obstacle standing in your way. A lot of times, right, we are the only variable in this that can be changed. And so I just, as we go through this, I want to have you keep an open mind and kind of be reflecting and thinking about like, are you taking as much action as you think you should be? Or like, where can you improve, right? Because there's even things with me as a coach that I am always like, well, I can do this better, or right, like I have my list here of the new coach university I've been working on. Like I look at that and I'm like, I can do that. There's a lot of things I'm always learning and doing better. And so, so this is a business, right, where we take action. We take the action first, and then we learn and modify. I think sometimes we get so caught up in learning how to do it that we never actually do it because we want to be perfect before we ever get started. And so the issue that I've really struggled with, and I've noticed that a lot of coaches struggle with, is that we let our ego stand in the way, right? We are so worried about like, what will my friend from college say about me? What will my mother think of me? What will my sister, my best friend, whatever, like what if my spouse doesn't support me? What if someone says no? Like all these things. And we're so worried, and our ego, we don't want our ego to get hurt, right? We don't want that girl to be like, no, this is dumb, or like, no, I hate Beachbody, or like even Angie and I have talked about this because we have a cousin who is like very anti-Beachbody and like is very public about it. I just broke my pen. That's going away. And like, it is very difficult for our egos when they post about like Beachbody being a scam and all this stuff. And like, it's really difficult for us to like know that what we're doing is not what they think we're doing. And so don't let your ego stand in the way of you putting yourself out there. And we let all the what ifs, right? We're like, well, what if no one signs up? What if everyone ghosts me? What if? But then also you have to think about like, what if you can pay your mortgage or your rent with the money you make from Beachbody? Like, what if you're able to pay off your credit card, your student loans? What if you're able to go to Punta Cana or to Disney? I will never forget. So there's the Success Club trip with Beachbody. I don't know how many of you guys know about it or have seen stuff about it, right? But you can get invited to go on this trip, and you can, with your Success Club points, you can earn the money to go. You can bring a person with you, like super awesome. Last year, I actually got invited to it, and I will never forget getting the email, and you have 72 hours to respond if you're going or not. And like 72 hours is not a lot of time to figure out like if you can take a week-long vacation and do all this stuff. And so I like sat on it. Shane said, yeah, you can go. Well, then the dates I wanted weren't available, blah, 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 blah. And luckily I didn't end up saying I could, like, right. We said, we'll go the next time we get invited. And I didn't go because I would have went this year, which got canceled because hashtag coronavirus. But like that stuff you can earn, right? Like Melanie Mitro all the time talks about the Disney trip. I'm like, secretly, I hope they do Disney again because I want to go to Disney. Like, I don't care about the Bahamas. I want to go to Disney. Like, what if you were able to do all the things you were dreaming of because the side hustle funds that dream, right? So like, I know Jess and I talk about how like she loves baking. Like she would love to bake and have more time with Elizabeth. And I think, right, like I want to run a boutique. And so it's like, this side hustle could give me the income to create that freedom and to do that. Hi, Sarah. And so we're so worried about what others think of us that we're letting them run our lives. And you're not running your life. You're letting everyone else run your life because you're so worried about like what they're going to say or what they're going to do. Like, I kid you not, like my husband is upstairs and he's watching the races, because that's our compromise, is like he can buy the races and watch them, and I will be downstairs doing my stuff all night, because he still doesn't completely buy into this whole thing, right? Like, and I could have let that destroy me. Like the one day he told me, like, when we have kids, you'll probably have to step away from coaching because you're going to have to give something up, and coaching will be probably the thing. And I was like, what if I give up teaching when we have kids? And like, Angie's like, oh girl, because it's true though, right? Like this fuels my passion so much that I'm like, I am going to eventually leave my full-time safety net and go, and do it this way. So, even if you don't have all the people in the world supporting you, like you can still do it. You can still out hustle everyone who thinks you can't do it, because, right? So we're so worried about what everyone would think. And for the longest time, he doubted me. And we found out this month that with, like my side hustles and my teaching job and like my summer job, is that for the first time ever, I will be making more money than my husband is making. And I kid you not, guys, like I was, this is embarrassing. I was twerking in my like kitchen, because I'm like, I am the bread maker of the family. Like I was freaking out, because I'm like, right? Like we're stuck in this environment that the male is always the person who's going to make the most money and do all the things. And I'm like, I'm out here doing all the things. Like I am your sugar mama. Sorry, I am so strange. So we've talked. Now I'm getting back on track. And we've talked about how you have to post, you have to share on your stories, you have to invite. Yet there's so many coaches out there that don't do it, right? So to get an idea of this, you might not know this, there are over 300,000 Beachbody coaches. Did you know that? 300,000 Beachbody coaches, but only about 48,000 of them are actually like active and like doing stuff and selling and doing that kind of stuff. So, I mean, your odds are pretty good, but, a lot of coaches don't do the things that are essential, right? We are told and we tell you like A plus B equals C, right? Be proof plus sharing and inviting plus checking in and plus personal development equals success club and equals success. Yet there's a lot of people that aren't doing those four things that are confused on why they're not seeing success. And so you got to do the things and figure it out later, right? You got to do the action and then revamp it and figure out what didn't work or what worked well and how you can fix it. And so you have everything at your fingertips, right? So my challenge to you is, if you say, I'm not like Brianna, I'm not good at making graphics. Brianna, I don't know how to run a challenge group. I don't know how to post. I don't know what to post. I don't know how to do this. Insert blank here. Or like, I want to do this, right? I want to start a podcast, or I want to, I don't know. I ran out of things to think about. I want to start this. Like, Google it, figure it out. I cannot tell you how many times I have literally went on YouTube and went to Melanie Mitro's page and Googled how to become a diamond coach, how to lead my team, how to do an opportunity call, how to make graphics, how to use, all these different things, the best apps for making videos, the best way to get traction on my Instagram. Like, I have done all these things, because everything you don't know how to do is figure outable. We all have the same amount of hours in the day. We all have the same amount of resources at our fingertips. It's just your job to go out and to use those. So this is the time I kind of want you to spend reflecting. So number one, I want you to think, are you proof of the products? I think all of us on this call are being proof of the products. Like, we are working out, we are using the things, and we're rocking our journeys. I think you guys are doing a great job of that. And so I want you to think, how has your life changed since starting this journey? What are the differences you're noticing in your life? How, just like I posted today, like, yeah, the weight, like losing the weight or gaining the muscle is really freaking awesome. But what mentally has changed for you? Like, how has your mind and your ambition, your productivity, all those things changed? And then I want you to think, like, why are you not sharing that with the world? Right? So it's simple, it's just simply talking about your before and after. Where were you at mentally then, and where are you mentally now? It could be a physical transformation. Maybe it is a side-by-side photo. But you've got to take that leap and share your story. So actually on the National Wake Up Call, the past 2 weeks, they've talked about you have to share your story every single week, which is something, I mean, I don't talk about my story every single week. I think that's kind of overkill. But then I realized I'm getting new followers every day, new followers every week. People scroll past your photos, people scroll past, you know, or slide through your stories and don't see it. And so one thing I'm really working on is sharing my story every single week. And it can be different versions, right? Like this week was about my mental health. Maybe next week it is about my coaching journey. Maybe the following week it's about, you know, finishing up bar and my physical transformations. Like there's all these stories we have to tell about our way in the process of the journey. So number 2, I want you to think about, are you sharing and inviting? Like legit, like right here, I wrote on my tracker, I will invite 10 people to join a group every day. And on here, I only have like 2 days I did 10 and the other 2 I had 5. So right there, like I am being a pansy and I'm not doing the 10 people like I told myself I was going to do. And so just think about, what are you putting out into the world, right? Are you sharing recipes? Are you sharing, like, think of the things people ask you about in life or the things you like to see and then create that, right? Like I got a message. I mean, I've gotten 5 messages, I don't know, probably in the past 48 hours of where I buy my headbands. So I did, you know, I created an Instagram story about where I get my headbands, where I get my clothes, where I get my books, right? I have my highlights that I've been working on, recipes all the time. Anytime I post a photo, people are like, can I have a recipe of that? And it's like, then I tell them, you can find it on my Instagram story tomorrow night or whatever, or my IGTV. And so then it's making people wait for my content. Like not the purpose of it is to wait, but like waiting because they want to see what I have going on. Okay. And you have to be sharing every single day, right? A lot of people might not even have any idea you're a Beachbody coach. They have no idea how this works. They don't know what the program you're doing, right? We can talk about Bar Blend, but until they really like see it and kind of get an idea of what you're doing, or Morning Meltdown or whatever program you're on. And here's a crazy one for you. On the National Wake Up Call, they told us we are supposed to be posting on our stories 8 to 15 times a day. I don't like, I'm probably in that 10 range. But 8 to 15 times a day. And Tate Cox, the guy who was on last week, he talked about your story should be like a real life TV show, right? So it should be your life interrupted with commercials of like what's going on, right? So you're talking about your life, you're talking about your routine, you know, and then you talk about Energize, or you're talking about your routine, you talk about your shake you're drinking, you know, you put in a plug for your workout program. I don't think that's salesy at all. Like I've never had anyone be like, why do you always share about your Energize? Like everyone is like, what are you drinking? Like I need that in my life. Like they don't see it as salesy. And so another good one is, if you're scared of sharing and inviting, Failing Forward is a really good book to get on that one. It's really good. And there's a ton of videos, right? If you don't know how to do stuff, Melanie Mitro has 10,000 videos on how to invite people. Like in the National Wake Up Calls, they gave their examples to inviting. I just think about, right, I used to prop my phone up on a book in my kitchen, or like, you know, in the crook of my laptop, and record a video of me working out and like splice it kind of and post it. And so it's like, there's not excuses for not doing it. It's just, all the excuses you're making to yourself means you don't really want it as bad as you say you do. And so number 3, are you checking in with your challengers and offering opportunities for them, right? So are you commenting on people's sweaty selfies? Are you checking in monthly, weekly, whatever time boundary you have established? What are you doing to make sure that your challengers are getting results? Like, I just think of opportunities for them that are unique to our team, right? Like Sweaty Saturdays. I don't know. I mean, I haven't seen any other team in Beachbody that does like Sweaty Saturdays like that. I know some do like Zoom workouts and stuff that you can hop on, but like Sweaty Saturdays is kind of our thing. Recipes, stuff like that. So as you move forward, the biggest way to get more coaches under you and to really start building this residual income is to convert your challengers to coaches, right? A lot of you guys are here because you loved the programs. And so you hopped on as a coach because you want to show other people. And so when people fall in love with what Beachbody offers and they get these transformations, becoming a coach is really a no-brainer. And then lastly, personal development. So what book are you reading? Think about it. Like, what book are you reading? You should be reading a book every single morning, even if it's 2 pages. I don't care. You need to be reading some sort of book. When is the last time you watched the National Wake Up Call? Every single week, right? I said I made up 2 weeks this week. But I have made it a goal. Like, one of my 2020 goals was to listen to every single National Wake Up Call, because these are the most successful coaches in the business. And I want to learn and implement what they're doing. And a lot of the National Wake Up Calls are very, like, applicable. It's not just like some feel good stories. Like, it is like, do these steps and this is what will happen. And so you need to always be learning and growing and having this growth mindset, right? Like, you're here today because you obviously want to be a successful coach. I am so excited that you're all on this team call. And I love, like, this literally is the highlight of my week, getting to see your faces and learn and grow with you. But the mindset is such an important thing, right? I talk all the time about visualizing your success. So if you are sitting here and you are saying, Brianna, no one wants to buy from me, no one wants to sign up, no one wants to be this, no one is responding, you're right, because whatever you think will be the outcome is what's happening. Angie can attest to this. You can ask Tia about it. When you visualize it, it will happen. And literally, Angie and I have talked about this, and I literally just had a conversation with Tia before this, like, pray about it. If you're a religious person, I know that sounds so dumb because you're like, God isn't going to fulfill my Beachbody goals. And I'm like, but do, because he will. Like, literally, I have had people message me, you know me, I sleep early, message me at like 9:30 at night on the last day of the month, and they are my challenger that gets me to Success Club 10 or Success Club 5 or whatever. And so it's like, stop thinking that, stop thinking you're unsuccessful, because then you are unsuccessful. Like, whatever you think will be your outcome. And so you really need to visualize that. Like, Tia literally messaged me because I texted her and I'm like, oh my God, you hit Success Club. Like, this is crazy. This is awesome. And she's like, dude, I have literally been praying all week that, like, I would hit Success Club, and like, it happened. So, to wrap it all up, because that opportunities thing is at 8 a.m. I hope you'll hop over there. It's the same Zoom thing. So I don't know how it works. I'm going to end this call and then go into that meeting, but it's the same number as you're in today. I hope you check it out, because I think it's really some good information for you to be able to explain to your challengers. But if you want success, you've got to stop thinking, here's some Keisha Fitzgerald for you, like what Sally Sue is thinking next door. Like, who cares? Like, I make TikToks out in my yard and all the people can see me, because I really don't give a shit what you think of me and my TikToks, because I love TikTok and I love my bleach shirts and I love my dog. And like, I don't care. I don't care. And so I fill out my tracker. Life is a lot better when you start living in your own terms and not everyone else's, right? Like, I don't care what my neighbor thinks if I am walking around in my hot pink shirt with, I don't know. I'm trying to think of a really dumb outfit, right? But like, I don't care. And I don't care what people think of my Instagram. And it's not like I'm like, screw the haters. Like, I want everyone to like me, but I think that, like, we have the doubter in our head that tells us no one wants to see that, when that's not true. I have never, ever, ever had anyone tell me, stop posting that, stop doing this, stop what you're doing. Like, everyone I talk to is like, your Instagram inspires me. So where do you need to level up, right? When you submitted that coach form, you asked for hard. We never said this was going to be easy. And so when you hopped on this call tonight, you asked for hard. And that's why I'm challenging you, because you girls are here because you want to make a difference in your life and others, right? And it takes zero amount of dollars to have a bomb work ethic and outwork everyone else, right? We can outwork every other Beachbody coach. I know we can. We're a group of strong women that are killing it. And someday we're going to be an elite team, and you guys are going to be on stage with me, and we're all going to be killing it. And so stop saying you're too busy. Stop saying that, you don't know how to deal with it. The other people, they'll never have to live with your regret, right? That's your demon you'll have to deal with, is at the end of the day, do you want to regret not going for it. And so this is your tribe. You're not alone. And so you're surrounded by all these people who want to help you. Angie and I are always here. I mean, everyone is here. You guys all, I mean, I just steal ideas from a lot of you guys. Like a lot of the things I do is because you're like, hey, I had this idea and then I just put it into motion. So you don't need any more training. Really, you guys just need action, 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 action until you figure it out. Sorry, Angie, I talked way longer than I thought I would. So if you have anything to add quickly.
I think the other thing too is like sometimes we get so caught up with like the income of it, which is great, right? Like for me, like this has been a saving grace throughout COVID because I was student teaching, you're obviously not working. Like building up my business was obviously super helpful. And sometimes I got very defeated, right? Like I'm not getting income from this, like this is not okay. But then I'd have girls like might say like, no, like I'm okay, but they're like, you're inspiring me so much. And Brianna kind of touched on that. But remember, like as a coach, like it's not always about making the income, it's about making a difference in other people's lives, even though we might not have them directly underneath us as someone that's buying from us and doing the program. But like they're like, I'm trying to start a routine, or I'm doing this or that because like I have watched you. And that's like so important to remember, that it doesn't always have to be about the income and that they don't directly have to be us, but like we are here to inspire others and hope they take action with their lives, even if it doesn't always come directly from us. That's the hope, but that's not always the case. So that's like a huge thing that I've learned.
And Angie, what happened in your business when you started consistently filling out your tracker?
Well, my followers have gone up extremely, but like just the invitations and like I've been able to hit Success Club 2 months in a row now. And that was like my goal for May. And I was kind of stressed last week. I was like, I want to hit it. I'm so close, like so close. And I got it. And that's honestly from God giving like the grace and the strength to persevere and push through it and be like, you know what? Send this invite, be weird. It's fine. Like we'll get through this. And yeah, I guess like that's the biggest thing. Consistency is going to give you success. And this tracker is a lifesaver because if I don't check mark it, I feel like a piece of crap when I don't check mark it. So.
Okay. Oh, perfect. They will hop on here.